Hello, good evening, everybody. Sunday night, 8 o'clock. I have to say, I really look forward to these nights. So we will give everybody a second to join. I just want to say I hope everyone had a great Mother's Day. Thank y'all for letting me have Mother's Day off. I am actually a new mother. I have a 10-month-old, so it was my first Mother's Day. It was wonderful. We spent it out at the lake with my family. So we had a great time. Looks like people are joining. Hello. Whenever you join, just comment below your name and where you're from. We're excited that you are here. Happy late Mother's Day to all of you mothers. All right, don't forget to your drink. I got my drink in my mom glass in honor of Mother's Day with my nice straw. All right, well, you guys keep joining. We're going to get started. So today we're going to go over a few questions. We asked the question last week. What are some things that you guys are struggling with and what do you want to know more about? And so I'm going to take two of those questions and address them tonight. The first question is going to be, how do I get other team members and other departments motivated to help me? I think that's one of our big struggles and activities is how do I motivate other team members? And the second thing is I want to talk about how you can help not be emotionally hurt whenever you're at work. Okay, I saw a post on Facebook recently. I don't know this person, and it might be somebody on our group. I'm not sure. I just had come across it one evening, and I thought, I need to address this, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it. But her comment was this. She said that she was in a resident room and she was listening to some other department individuals. I think they were CNAs outside of that room, and they were talking about how discouraged they were in activities and how terrible they thought that she was doing. And they actually called her by name, right? That would totally stink. I've had that happen more than once to me as I'm standing close by and I hear someone talking about me. But she said that she walked out and they made an excuse of, it was regulations and they were just talking about this or that. And she said she went to her office and cried for about 30 minutes to get herself re-put together to go out. And she still felt very discouraged that evening as she was posting on Facebook. So how would you feel? All right, how would you feel if you overheard some people talking about you in another room and talking about how terrible that you're doing? How would you feel? So comment below, tell me how you would feel. And I want to talk about something called the ladder of inference. You may have heard it. It's by Chris Argus back in 1970s. This is an analogy that he has of a ladder. So I want you to picture a ladder with me. And there's different rungs, okay? So there's different steps on the ladder. And whenever we have a situation that arises, we go quickly up the ladder without even thinking about it. And so we talked a couple weeks ago about how you have control of your thoughts. And we've talked also last week or the week before last about being positive in the present, which we'll recap at the end. So we have control over our brain, and in this analogy, you actually have control over where you are in the rungs and how you respond to situations. So let's talk through a few of these. So the first two rungs are observation and data. Okay, so you have a huge picture, okay, that you have, and you're looking at it and you're thinking, the saying, a fly on the wall. Okay, so imagine that you're a fly on the wall and you're looking down and you're seeing everything, all right? That's the situation that's happening. But on these first two rungs, you actually pick out pieces of this observation, of this situation that you're in. You pick out pieces that you want to see or that your brain is attracted to, and you hang on to those. Okay, so the first two rungs are data and observation. So you're pulling in data, getting, and you're observing all of these things. So those are your first two rungs. The next two rungs are your beliefs. Okay, so the things that you have prior. The things that you believe deep down, your morals, your ethics, the things that impact you and make you who you are. That's your next rung, as well as prior experiences. Okay, so we've got all of this data. We're gathering this really quickly, bits and pieces of this big picture. We're going up to the next rung about what is our beliefs, what are our prior experiences, and then we get up to the assumptions and the conclusions. Okay, so those are the 6 rungs that we just quickly go up anytime a situation like this activity director was in, experiences. Okay, so as we're gathering this data and we're assuming, okay, we start getting these assumptions, all right, based off of things that have happened to us in the past. So let's say that I was on Facebook and I was like, this CNA or this activity director had an experience where someone was talking about her and she was crying and upset. I should be crying and upset as well. And so that's my conclusion, is that these people are just mean and rude, and everybody says I should just go tell them off or quit my job or go tell the administrator how it is. This is the conclusion that you come up with very quickly. This can be so dangerous. I hope you can see why this can be dangerous. I don't know about you, but I have been in plenty of situations where I react to something and then later I come to find out, oh my gosh, I was really wrong, right? Because we react thinking based off of all these assumptions and our past beliefs, and we react as if, okay, I am right. Okay, I believe this. I saw this. I observed it. Okay, I have the data to prove it, and I'm going to react, and I think that it's right. But in the end, when you gather more information, it ends up being that you were actually wrong. And that is not fun to have to go back to the person and say, you know what, I am so sorry, but I was actually wrong. So how would you feel? Okay, how would you feel if you were in a resident room and you heard someone talking about you while you're in the room and they're talking negative? Okay, how would you feel? Comment on how you would feel. Let me know how you would feel. So you're automatically going to the top. Okay, you have this conclusion in your mind. Danger. Okay, very dangerous. So whenever she walked out, all right, what could she have done differently that may have made the situation a little bit better? So I'm going to give you 4 tips. Okay, so 4 tips that you can do. So first one is make your thinking process visible to other people. Okay, so make it visible to other people. I do this by a fault. I am serious. Sometimes people are like, Bailey, I don't need to know exactly your thought process, how you came about the decision, but I tell it how it is. I walk through every little step in my mind. You can also invite other people to test your assumptions and your conclusions. And I'm going to give you that example in just a minute, as well as 2 others. The third thing is you can use open-ended questions respectfully in order to help them come and verbalize their perception. Okay, so what were they actually meaning? If you want to get that out of them, you can ask open-ended questions very respectfully, and a lot of times you can get the answer from them. And then the 4th thing is to explore. Don't give up quickly. Okay, so don't give up quickly and just be like, you know what, whatever, I'm not going to talk to you. Okay, you're being ugly and hateful, and I'm just going to go cry in my office and leave you be. Okay, or I'm not helping you any longer, or how dare you. So instead of just jumping to conclusions, really explore the situation. So let's take this example. As you're walking out of the room and you're coming up to a group of, let's say, 3 CNAs who have been talking about you, or what you assume they were talking about you outside the room, how can you react differently? So as you walk out, you could say, hey, good afternoon, ladies. I just want to ask, I thought I overheard you speaking about me and saying that I wasn't doing a good job with activities. So can you tell me a little bit about what you're thinking? Okay, so first of all, you made it clear on what you were assuming. Okay, so you assumed that they were talking about you and that you weren't doing a very good job. You've asked them their opinion, okay? You've told them, hey, am I right or wrong? So you're asking them to look at your assumptions and tell you, oh, you know what, Bailey, you're not right. No, we weren't talking about that. We were actually talking about how sorry we felt for you because of all of these new regulations with COVID and how hard it is for you to do one-on-one activities. And in that case, they'd be like, oh, great. Like, I'm so glad we had this conversation. And then you could move on, okay? But you have to trust them. All right, so even if they said that, and you're like, yeah, right, that is not what you said. I heard what you said. Okay, you can't do that. You have to trust that whatever they had come up with and how they're making up for what they said is true. Just take it and go with it, okay? And then you're open into questions. Is that what I heard? And if they say, you know what, that is what we were talking about, you could say, okay, well, can you tell me what your expectations are of me, right? So right now with COVID, we're required to keep everybody in their rooms. They have to stay in their rooms. They have to stay quarantined. So can you give me some examples of things that you're wanting to see? Why are you feeling like I'm not doing my job? So what suggestions could you give me? And I'll tell you, 9 times out of 10, they're like, I don't know, right? I really don't know. I don't know what suggestions I could give you. So you're probably doing a really good job of activities. And then you want to just explore. So let's say that they were talking negative about you. Okay, they were being very hateful. When you came out, they just pretty much told you off and were walking away. You can work on, hey, I want to build this relationship up. Okay, I want to explore what we could do differently together in order to make our residents' lives more meaningful. Okay, so instead of just shooting up the ladder and thinking, how dare them and poor me, running to our office and crying, which I am very guilty of on more occasions than one. Okay, I have been called more names in the book than you can count. Instead of doing that, really confront them. Okay, confront them with the problem. So I want to give you another example, a personal example. This is very early in my career. And so I had a regional. I was the rehab director at the time, and I had a regional that I called crushed. I mean, in morning meeting, we were sitting around this table, and my business office manager pretty much treated me like a piece of dirt, okay, in front of all of the management team. I am brand new to the team, and she was so hateful to me. And so I went to my regional and got her on the phone. I'm like crying, like so upset. And she says, you know what, Bailey, you get in there in her office and you tell her that she is going to treat you with respect. I'm like, no. She said, yes, you're going to go and you're going to talk to her and you're going to tell her to treat you with respect. And I thought, I don't think I can do this. And she said, you know what? And I want you to call me when you're done. I thought, crap, here I have to go. So I made my way into her office and I'm shaking on the inside, right? Just like terrified shaking. And I put my hand on her desk and I said, listen, I am going to treat you with respect. I expect you to do the same for me. In this morning meeting, I did not feel like you were treating me with respect. The way that you talked to me, the things that you said in front of everybody. If you have those kind of things to say to me, wait till after the meeting and then you and I can discuss them. But in the meeting, it's not appropriate and I am not going to tolerate it. And she looks at me and she rolled her eyes and kept going back at her work. And I turned around and walked off. Right? Like, oh my gosh. Did you know from that point forward, her and I had the best relationship. I would consider her one of my dearest friends from that point in my career. I mean, one of my dearest friends. Like, I could get her to do anything for me after that. And what was funny is that I already had a perceived notion. I had already went up that ladder and already had come to my conclusion of everybody hates her. She's mean to everybody. She's just being mean to me. She hates my guts. I'm never going to be able to work well with her. Okay, so I already shot up that ladder. And instead, I went to her and was able to see, she's not that bad. Okay, she was a bully to some, right? But she's not bad. When you're talking to her and you engage with her and you tell her how you're feeling, she is a real human being with a lot of hurts on the inside, and her and I just connected and we had the best relationship. So if I hadn't have went out and said, this is how you're making me feel, okay, this is how you're making me feel, tell me otherwise, right? I'm offering you the opportunity to tell me otherwise. And so here is my point on how this is going to help you get other departments to help you. All right. If we walk around with our feelings on our shoulders all the time and not asking people's opinions and not looking for feedback and confronting, the conflict in our work, we are never going to grow and change and have other departments help us. But you know what? If I'm open and communicating everything that I'm feeling, the reason that I'm doing something, people like to know the purpose behind it. Okay, so the first thing was, tell your thought process. Explain why you're doing what you're doing. Okay, there's conflict is why you can't get other departments motivated to help you, because there's a conflict there. So what you have to do is just verbalize why you're doing what you're doing. For example, if you're needing assistance from your nursing staff during COVID-19 to do one-on-one activities with your team, you need to verbalize why. Okay, you have to verbalize that. You have to say, you know what, here are the things that our residents need. Not I am so overworked, I can't get this done, because everybody's overworked. But here's what our residents need, and here is the solution that I have come up with in order for us to get this done and meet our residents' needs where they are with the limited resources and time that we've got. Okay, so while you're doing these tasks, if we just add in this stuff, okay, this is going to help. And here's how I'm going to help you if you help me. Okay, so talk through the process. Don't just assume that they know what you're thinking. Okay, when you say, I need 5 CNAs and I need them to do X, Y, and Z in the room with the residents, that's not going to win any people over to your department to assist and help you. I want to give another example of shooting up the ladder and how you can go about communicating and building those relationships in order to help get other departments to assist you in activities, okay? So this is a struggle we all have, all right? We go up to an aide or a nurse because we have a resident in activities and all of a sudden they need to go to the bathroom and we say, oh gosh, I can't take them, okay? Or I've got a group of 15, not now, but used to, had a group of 15 and I can't take them to the bathroom. And so you go to the CNA and you say, hey, Mr. Smith needs to go to the bathroom when you have time. A lot of times the response is, I'm with somebody else, right? They can wait. I am with someone else. I am busy. How dare you? You go do activities. I'll do CNA work. I don't need your help. Don't tell me what to do. We get that kind of response from them, okay? That's the response we get. Instead of walking off, rolling your eyes, or thinking, man, that is a rude CNA, or that is a rude nurse, instead of saying that, go, hey, you know what, Susie? I am so sorry that, it seems like I upset you. Okay, the tone that you're giving me back, it seems like you're upset with me. Can you tell me next time how to better let you know that Mr. Smith needs to go to the bathroom? Give her the opportunity to say, you know what, Bailey, I am so sorry. That is not my intention. I am just really stressed because, we have a resident dying in this room, or whatever might be stressing them out to cause them to react the way that they did. Give them a chance to explain themselves, okay? Tell them what you're thinking. Hey, I am really sorry that, I came to you and asked, but here's why. Okay, I've got 15 residents in this activity and I can't take this person to the bathroom. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know, is there a better way for me next time to do that? Until we, as healthcare professionals, especially in long-term care, get to the point where we're communicating and not just assuming and jumping up the ladder, gathering bits of data that we want, assuming and taking the pieces that we want and coming up with assumptions based off of our prior beliefs and our prior experiences, and not giving people the opportunity to explain themselves, we are going to get nowhere. I am the world's worst. Okay, I am just confessing here, right? I am the world's worst at really focusing on tasks and not on people. Okay, I like getting things done. I like my check boxes. I like getting, at the end of the day, feeling like, man, I have been productive. A lot of times you can run over people that way. So until your team is able to say, you know what, Bailey, you hurt my feelings by not doing this, or hey, I really felt like you were being really rude, I won't have the opportunity to come back and say, oh my gosh, okay, I am so sorry, that is not my intention at all. Typically it is not our intention to do whatever it is that might have hurt someone. Okay, we're not just walking around wanting to be intentionally hateful to people. So until you get you and your team where you're coming together and communicating, you are not going to be able to, number one, get people in other departments to help you. And number two, you're going to be emotionally hurt. Okay, you're going to be emotionally hurt. So get your feelings off of your shoulders. Okay, communicate with the other departments in saying, hey, you know what? Tell me, help me, understand. Okay, this is my thought process. What's your thought process? Help me to come to a conclusion here. So until you can get to that point, those two questions, you're not going to be able to meet. We're not going to be able to motivate CNAs by offering them pie when they bring someone to activities. That works for a little bit, but it doesn't work always. And sometimes they're not hungry. Okay. So you have to get to the level of, I trust you. I'm going to communicate with you. We're going to go back and forth and talk respectfully to one another, figure out each other's feelings, learn more about each other. That's the only way you're going to get people on board with your department in order for you to make a difference, a true difference in the lives of your residents. So please, Okay, so please, if you just now jumping on and you're just hearing this, rewind and watch. Okay, so the ladder of inference, we just went over all of it quickly, and I gave some examples on how you can use them in healthcare. So I want you to comment. I'm not seeing any comments come in, so I would like to see, I had to use my phone this afternoon. So if y'all have questions, we had a lot of questions last time. So if y'all have questions or comments, please comment below. Okay, so make sure you say your name and where you're from. And I wanted to go over what we talked about 2 weeks ago because we were halfway there. Okay, we had a 21-day challenge 2 weeks ago. So on the 3rd, if you go back and watch that Facebook Live, you'll be all caught up. We had a 21-day challenge of being positive in the present. All right, so in the evenings, on Sunday evening at 8 o'clock, my goal is to help you be able to start your week fresh. Okay, the Mondays are terrible usually. Okay, so I want you to be able to come on live with me, watch this live video, get a little bit of motivation, and then go forward with your week. So there was 5 things we talked about in being positive in the present. All right, so I'm going to go over those real quick so that everybody's caught up. But the first one, there's several things that you can do. You can either do 3 of the 5 each day, or however many you can get done. Okay, I've been practicing most of them each day, and I have to tell you, I walk around thinking, actually a couple days ago I told my husband, wow, I really feel thankful. Like I just feel overly thankful, which is so weird. So the first one is 3 gratitudes. So each day writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. The second one is journaling. Okay, so looking back at your day in the last 24 hours and figuring out, okay, what is one thing that I can think of that was just positive? Okay, what was that one instance? And what happens is it trains our brains to not look at the negative, look past the negative, and grab those positive things, and then you relive them, which is then releasing dopamine. And I talked all about dopamine and how it helps and can help you be more creative and more on task. The third thing was exercise. Okay, we know that exercise releases dopamine too, and so helps us to get going and stay positive. The fourth thing was meditation. All right, so meditating and focusing and making sure that we're not just doing a bunch of different tasks all at the same time. And then the last one, the 5th one, is random acts of kindness. And so I challenge you to not just do, pay. You see a lot of people paying for Starbucks in the line. I'm not asking for y'all to do that kind of random act of kindness, but instead emailing a department head. Okay, once a day, email one department head and tell them what you think is great about them. Encourage them. Tell them something that happened and you're like, wow, I'm so proud of you. We have a merit grant process at the place that I work, and it's amazing for all of us. Okay, I have to actually remind myself and my team at times, hey, we've got to fill these out. Okay, we have to be looking for the positive things in our team members and not just the negative stuff. And so emailing one of your department heads over the 21 days and telling them how great they are. And then after you get the 21, if you run out of department heads, let's say you have 3 if you're a small building, after you run out of them, you can start doing it with your team members and encouraging them and telling them how great they are. So those are the 5 things that will help you remain positive in the present. So with your ladder of inference and really taking control of your thoughts and your reactions to things, as well as looking and doing your 21-day challenge of being positive in the present, I'm hoping that you can work on really motivating other people to help you, and that people are going to start seeing a change in you. They're going to start saying, wow, what is going on with her? Okay, something is different, exciting different. Okay, we're all getting along and working and not working in our silos, but really just looking out for the best of the residents. Right now especially, okay, it is stressful. I am telling you, there are some days I'm thinking, wow, what have I done? Okay, how this COVID stuff is crazy. Okay, it changes and the ebbs and flows, and I mean, the communication coming out, and one day you can do this, and the next day you can't, or one day you can't, and now you can. It just, wow, it's just so much. And so it's important for us to start and really realizing that everyone is stressed. We are all on the edge. And so we have to do what we can to calm our brains, okay, take control of our thoughts, and then move forward in order to be excellent team members. So that is all I have for you this evening. If you have any questions, comment below. And I hope that y'all have a wonderful week. I will take your comments and your questions and answer them in the comment section below. But I hope y'all have a wonderful week, and thank y'all for staying on with me for so long. I hope you really enjoyed the Ladder of Inference. Go research some more on it. And if you missed part of it, if you want to rewind and watch, you can. I'm going to post this on our Facebook page. Make sure you share our Facebook page, okay? I have had multiple people say, hey, my coworker really needed to see your Facebook Live. Can I share this somehow? If you want them to join, they don't have to be activity directors to join the group. Okay, so if they want to join the group and they're a nurse or a CNA or recreational therapist or anybody in your organization, they are more than welcome to join our group. So I'm hoping that you will invite them and that they can get a lot out of this as well. So thank y'all again for joining, and have a great night and a great week. We will see you on Tuesday for our Product Talk Tuesday. So don't forget. Thanks.